We're off and running, and it's a beautiful day for football in Philadelphia. Blue skies overhead, fresh energy in the air, and the defending Super Bowl champions are back on the field for their lone mandatory minicamp of the offseason. Yes, you heard that right. Just one single day for the entire squad to gather before they disappear again until training camp at the end of July. But don't let that fool you. That one day was packed with action, intensity, and most importantly, signs of what this team is building toward in the 2025 season. The NovaCare complex was buzzing, not just because of the return of Jalen Hurts and the rest of the Birds, but because this was the last chance to see them work together before they go dark for nearly 2 months. And if you're a fan of commitment, you'll love this head. Coach Nick Sirianni made it clear. Perfect attendance. Not a single unexcused absence. All 90 players on the roster showed up and put in work. That kind of dedication is rare, especially after achieving the ultimate prize back in February. But according to Sirianni, the hunger and humility that defined last year's title run are still alive and well. And let's be real. After the way the Eagles collapsed at the tail end of the 2023 campaign, losing 6 of their last 7 games, you'd expect some cracks. But this team bounced back hard, went on a tear after a shaky 2-2 start, dominated in the playoffs, and brought home a Lombardi trophy. Now here they are again, focused, motivated, and seemingly ready to run it back. So with all that in mind, we're diving into the biggest winners and losers from minicamp, starting with none other than quarterback Jalen Hurts. What a spring he's had. Coming off a Super Bowl MVP performance, Hurts has looked flawless during open practices, no exaggeration. Whether it's 7-on-7 or full 11-on-11 reps, the ball barely hits the ground. On Tuesday, the only day of mandatory minicamp, Hurts went 20 of 21. Across 3 public practices this spring, he completed 50 of 55 passes with 0 interceptions. That's not just sharp, that's elite. And the highlight throw, a deep shot to Devonta Smith, who was rocking pink cleats and looking every bit as fast and crisp as ever. Even with some offensive line struggles, Cam Jurgens was out and Brett Toth struggled big time, Hurts stayed cool, precise, and deadly accurate. Speaking of wide receivers, Danny Gray is a name you might want to start remembering. A former third-round picked by the Niners out of SMU, he's been on the Eagles practice squad after failing to make the roster in San Francisco. But this spring, he's flashed serious potential. With blazing speed, he ran a 4.3 40 coming out of college. Gray has made himself a go-to target with the second-team offense, catching the eye of both coaches and media. He brings a vertical threat this team could really use, especially since they haven't had a true burner since the days of Quez Watkins. Devonta Smith is a phenomenal downfield weapon, but Gray might be the guy to stretch the field purely with speed. He's making a serious push for a roster spot. Terrace Marshall Jr. is another receiver who's making waves. Taken in the second round by the Carolina Panthers, he was part of that legendary 2019 LSU squad that won the national championship with Joe Burrow slinging it. He's had a bumpy road in the NFL so far, but he's showing flashes of that old form in Philly. He caught a touchdown from Hurts on a crisp crossing route, taking advantage of some blown coverage, and looked like a guy fighting for a bigger role in this offense. Alongside Gray, Marshall has arguably outperformed guys like Anaya Smith and Johnny Wilson. With A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Jahan Dotson locked in as the top 3 receivers, spots 4 and 5 are still wide open, and the competition is heating up fast. Another young gun who showed out. Rookie quarterback Kyle McCord, drafted in the 6th round out of Syracuse. McCord was one of the most accurate quarterbacks in college football last year. Big body, strong arm, and elite processing skills. He looked polished during practice. Thread in a tight window touchdown to tight end Nick Muse that had people buzzing. He's already outplaying Dorian Thompson-Robinson this spring and looks on track to secure the QB3 spot on the 53-man roster. For a guy taken late in the draft, he's making a big early impression. And what stands out even more is how well he played at Syracuse after transferring from Ohio State. That speaks volumes about his development and adaptability, especially since he did it with less talent around him. He's not the most mobile guy, but in terms of pocket awareness and touch, he's putting it all together. Rookie linebacker Gia Brown, rocking the number 30 jersey, was also spotted doing drills for the first time this offseason. He hadn't been seen on the field during spring activities due to a labrum injury, but there he was on Tuesday, working out in individual drills. He wasn't involved in full team sessions yet, but just seeing him active with a helmet on is a great sign. Brown has that long, lean frame you want in a modern linebacker, and he plays with serious intensity, like a missile flying around the field. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio reportedly loves his potential, both as a blitzer and in coverage. His presence adds another layer of excitement to an already loaded front seven. Let's not forget Kaylee Ringo, who had a strong day working with the first-team defense at outside corner. With names like Adoree Jackson, Cooper DeJean, and Eli Ricks also in the mix, the battle for those cornerback spots is fierce. But Ringo made the most of his reps, recording a couple of pass breakups and showing off that elite combination of size and speed. He's over 6 feet tall, more than 200 pounds, and ran a 4.3 40 at the combine. The athleticism has never been in question, but even Ringo said it himself. Athleticism only gets you so far. It's about technique, instincts, and consistency now, and he's starting to show signs that he's putting it all together. Jalix Hunt and Jordan Davis were absolute nightmares for the offensive line on Tuesday. Both players notched would-be sacks during practice. Remember, you can't hit the quarterback in minicamp, but when a defender gets there clean, it's noted, and both guys got there often. Hunt lined up over left tackle Jordan Mailata and gave him serious trouble, which is a big deal considering Mailata is one of the best rated tackles in the entire league. For a younger player like Hunt to win those reps consistently, that turns heads. And Jordan Davis, well, he looks like a man on a mission. He's in the best shape of his career, reportedly thanks to an obsession with Peloton workouts late last year. That paid off in the playoffs, where he became a dominant force on the interior. The Eagles rewarded that by picking up his 5th-year option, and now he's backing it up with a fantastic spring performance. Rookie linebacker Smael Mondon also got a spotlight moment. With Zach Bound and Jair Brown limited and Nakobe Dean still nursing an injury, Mondon took some first-team reps and made the most of them. Drafted out of Georgia, where he was praised as one of the best coverage linebackers in the entire draft, Mondon brings size, athleticism, and natural instincts to the position. Injury slowed him down in college, but his talent was never in question. At the very least, he'll be a special teams contributor from day one. But, depending on how things shake out health-wise, don't be surprised if he earns defensive snaps sooner than expected. Now, while we had plenty of winners, it wasn't all sunshine and highlight reels. There were a few clear losers as well. Brett Toth, for example, had a rough day. He was working at center with Cam Jurgens out due to a back injury, and things did not go smoothly. Multiple botched snaps disrupted the offense's rhythm, and it looks like Toth may have slipped down the depth chart as a result. Rookie Drew Kendall is now getting looks with the second team, and 5th-round pick Trevor Keegan, who played guard in college, is even getting reps at center. That might be a sign that the coaching staff is ready to explore other options. The Eagles have a lot of depth on the interior offensive line, and Toth may be running out of chances to prove he belongs in that mix. Another player on the wrong side of momentum? Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the former UCLA quarterback, came into camp fighting for the QB3 job, but is currently behind both Hurts and Tanner McKee, and now Kyle McCord is gaining serious ground. While DTR brings athleticism and some dual threat capability, he just hasn't been as sharp or consistent as McCord. At this point, it wouldn't be a shock if McCord made the final roster and DTR did not. And we've got to mention Jalen Carter, too. Not because of anything he did wrong, but because he didn't participate. He was present at the facility, but stayed on the sidelines doing light stretching and rehab work. It's unclear what exactly he's dealing with, but when one of your best defensive players isn't practicing, especially during the only mandatory session of the offseason, it raises some eyebrows. Hopefully it's just precautionary and nothing serious. The Eagles will need Carter at full strength if they want to repeat as champions. There's still so much more to dive into as we roll into the summer and get ready for training camp. But this one-day minicamp gave us a ton to chew on. The competition is fierce, the energy is high, and this team looks locked in for another deep run. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A seismic tremor is reportedly rippling through the NFL landscape, specifically sending shockwaves of both apprehension and speculative excitement through the Philadelphia Eagles' fervent fan base. Whispers growing louder by the minute suggest that Saquon Barkley, the dynamic running back whose signing sent Eagles Nation into a frenzy just months ago, is contemplating a sudden and stunning retirement from professional football. While no official statement has emerged from Barkley's camp or the Eagles organization, the mere mention of such a possibility has ignited a firestorm of discussion across sports radio, social media, and local Philadelphia watering holes. The reaction among Eagles faithful is said to be a potent cocktail of disbelief, disappointment, and a rapid pivot to what now scenarios. Sources close to the situation, who wish to remain anonymous given the sensitive nature of the rumor, indicate that Barkley has been privately wrestling with personal considerations that transcend the gradation. These are said to be significant enough to potentially outweigh the lucrative contract and Super Bowl aspirations that undoubtedly drew him to Philadelphia. Should this unfathomable scenario materialize, the impact on the Eagles' meticulously crafted offensive strategy would be immense. Barkley was envisioned as a cornerstone of their rushing attack, a multifaceted weapon capable of transforming short gains into explosive plays and providing a crucial outlet in the passing game. His potential departure would leave a gaping hole in an offense that was already seen as needing his unique blend of power and agility. The immediate aftermath of such a decision would undoubtedly see the Eagles' front office scrambling. Speculation is already rife regarding potential contingencies. Would they revisit the free agent market, albeit a much thinner one at this stage of the offseason? Could a trade be on the horizon, perhaps for a disgruntled back on another roster? Or would they place their trust in the remaining backfield talent, perhaps looking to uncover a hidden gem from within their current roster or the upcoming draft? 4. Now, it remains a pervasive rumor, a gnawing possibility that has gripped the attention of the Philadelphia sports world. Eagles fans, known for their passionate highs and lows, are reportedly holding their collective breath, desperately hoping this particular whisper of a story remains just that, a whisper that fades away before it can become a thunderous, devastating reality. The saga of Saquon Barkley's future, or lack thereof, with the Eagles is undoubtedly the hardest topic on everyone's minds in the city of brotherly love. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.